same company. And I'm
Yes.
clicking go live in 3, 2, and it says we're live. So we'll go ahead and jump in. Oh, I got to kick off the VPN, you guys. Sorry about that. Hold on, stand by. All right, fantastic. Silima, everybody. We are here today with our very special guest, Analena Fuchs, and she is going to be telling us all about basically solving the mysteries of the universe for us. So we're very excited
Yes.
about that. And she'll be able to neatly condense all of this, supreme information into, a couple year span. Do I hear, what am I hearing? Hold on
That
one
that's
second, guys.
I
Can you
fixed it.
guys
I
hear that?
fixed it. I fixed it.
Oh, it was you? Okay. Okay. All right. I think in the coming weeks, we're going to try to switch to StreamYard because we have a cool video for you guys to start with that we're gonna watch in real time and edit. Not today, or not edit. What's the word? Comment on it. Yeah, we're gonna be starting to do that here shortly, but not today. Today we're here with Analena, so we're very excited. But before we get into all of that, just some quick housekeeping. If you guys are into this sort of thing, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe if any of those things apply to you. All of our information, Annalena's, Nikki's, Fryer's, my information is all in the video description. So, check that stuff out. If we can't help you, I'm sure we can put you in touch with somebody else who is better suited to serve you on your journey. Let me see here. My name is Abigail Quinn, if you prefer. I am a Sumerian astrologer, as evidenced by my title and the name of my channel and everything. It's pretty self-explanatory. I do have cool stuff on my website. If you guys go there, you can learn Sumerian, you can learn ancient astrology. So that's everything like pre-Greek, but it actually does teach you about like how astrology came into being in its modern form too. So that's pretty cool. I have a bunch of articles and stuff up there too. Fryer, Nikki, do you guys want to give everybody a quick rundown of what you do?
You want to go first this
Sure.
time? Yeah.
Whatever you guys want.
Do it.
Sorry.
Do it.
I'm sorry, Fryer. Okay, I'll go. Go. I'm Nikki. I hate doing introductions, to be honest with
We all
you.
do, yeah.
It's the worst for me. But if you've seen the channel, you know me. I do readings. I work at a little shop here in Green Bay called the Cannabis Co. I work out of there a lot. I do readings out of there sometimes too. But my information's down below. You can get a hold of me. I'm pretty easy to find on socials. But most of the time, you'll find me right here. So,
That's where we want you, Nikki. Where we want you.
yeah. This is where I'm at.
Yeah. Fryer?
Awesome. Hey, I'm Friar Puzzle, and I have this crazy WordPress site, uh, as evidenced in my name tag on this crazy Brady Bunch live stream thing. I'm just a student of the mysteries, really. And if you were to go to my website, you would see my services and my crazy blog posts. But I'm gonna do this right here, right now. Nobody knew I was gonna do this. It's a surprise. If you were to select to work with me with my compassionate listening service from now until the end of the year,
Oh, time's running out.
from now until the end of the year, if you contact me with the coupon code Marduk50,
Oh
that's right,
man.
Marduk50, I will take 50% off of your entire course run of compassionate listening.
That's no joke, you guys. That is serious. Okay. Very serious.
Very, very serious.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Fryer
so
changes lives, you guys. If you want to like take it to the next level, he's your guy. So
yeah,
definitely
Yeah,
get a hold of
I
him.
concur. I agree. I agree. Do some deep work. You really do. Like it's not for the faint of heart. So don't go
no,
into it thinking you won't be completely
that's
transformed.
right. Will it be a
Speaking of, oh, sorry,
yes?
Fryer, go ahead, go ahead.
No. Just again, Marduk50. You can write me at friarpuzzle@gmail.com, all one word, or you can contact me on my contact form on the WordPress site and just put Marduk50 in your uh, letter to me, and you'll get the discount because Marduk.
Remind me to put it in the video description because I get sidetracked. But I can put it in there too for you. That's a good idea. We should probably holidays coming up and stuff. We should probably all be
Yeah.
running some discounts. I usually have some on my Etsy store. I always have like a permanent 30% off discount if you buy something through my website because I don't get charged any extra fees and stuff. So that's always there for you guys too. Speaking of changing lives, I'm assuming that's what Analena does over here. So Analena, can you give us just a quick introduction, who you are, what you do, and kind of a little bit how you got on this journey?
Yeah, thanks for having me, first of all. It's a pleasure to be here. So yeah, where do I start? So I think I went first the traditional route of working in corporate, doing the thing that society tells you. And I kind of knew that was not the right fit for me deep inside, and I was quite bored. And yeah, eventually I got into coaching first because I really started to notice. So I was working, part of my job in corporate was also HR, and I really loved the human interaction. I got to meet people and everything. And I started to notice there that just from people talking to me, somehow like their life were changed. Like just from listening, giving them some feedback on things that they were asking me. And I wasn't really doing anything, so to say, right? But that's when I started to realize there's something there, and it really lit me up. And also like training, I enjoy teaching people things. And I couldn't really find that too much in the corporate world because I also was working in finance mainly. And I got into coaching. With the internet these days, we find things. It was first health coaching. And then eventually I got out of corporate because I was so passionate about it and I couldn't hide it. I even gave my boss a business card that I was a coach now. And of course, they knew I wasn't in for the corporate anymore. And yeah, eventually, well, I got actually, let go from the job. And I was really scared because I didn't have that many clients yet at the time, but I just knew it was my calling, when it's in your heart and you're like, this is it. I know there's something there. So I went on this journey, and that was over 6 years ago already. Yeah, it was 2018. And I didn't have much of a plan. I was kind of following what everybody else is saying, and it quite didn't work. I invested a lot of money and I got really frustrated. And I was always like, I'm missing something. I'm doing something wrong. I'm not sure this is going to work out. But somehow life, God, source, universe always kind of pulled me in the direction and always gave me confirmation that I'm on the right path. And I was like, okay, I'm doing this. And look, there were lots of challenges along the way. And first I went into like deep emotional work, working actually with my emotions and allowing myself to feel what I feel. That was a big game changer. But then one day, one of my friends who were actually working together, and we met in this whole coaching space online. Also, she's from Germany. And she was like, hey, you gotta check this out. I have this like human design chart here. And I was like, okay, yeah, well, another fancy thing, right? But when I saw it, I was just like, wow, like I was almost speechless, and something was different. And I love math. So there were all these like numbers and signs. And so there was this like fascination that I had never felt before, I want to say, in my life. And it also started to come very easy to me, almost like I remembered it. I still took all the trainings and certifications, but it was so ingrained inside of me.
Is everyone frozen or is it just her?
Nobody's frozen.
No, I think you are frozen.
Except now you are. Uh-oh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It was great. It was uninterrupted.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue then. I think
Yes,
Abby's
please.
gonna come back when the internet picks up.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I started to actually share about human design pretty quickly with my clients because I could not do it. And there was a huge resonance, also the way that I was delivering it to my clients. And that's really when my business started to, take off. And it really felt like I found the thing in some way that I had been looking for quite some time. So then for almost 4 years, I worked with human design mainly, with also, of course, I coach. It's not just the information. It's really more an intuitive approach that I have. Because everybody felt so seen, right? There was no more cookie cutter or one way for everyone. It was really like, hey, you're different. and most people, I think probably everyone that's listening can resonate. We feel like a black sheep. We feel like we're different. And we think there's something wrong with that. But actually, we want to be different, right? If we think about it, if we all are going to be the same, I think that's very boring. And I don't think the world is going to evolve much if we're all the same. So it just gave me also much more confidence in my coaching, because it was always very specific to the client, because the human design helped me really untap things for my clients that I don't think I could have done without it. It kind of gave me that blueprint along with my inner knowing and intuition and everything. So on that journey, then also I discovered the gene keys. Many people that are into human design, they're also into gene keys. For me, it came second. First, I was kind of not into it. I just didn't get it. It was too deep. But then a year later, it was like, oh my God, this is the next magic thing. And actually, it's very complementary with human design. So I got very, you can say in a way, healthily obsessed with these 64 archetypal energies, how I like to call them. So the 64 gates in human design, the 64 gene keys. And I started to realize that they just explain how the universe works. Probably also something we find in the Bible, I would say. But all this
Okay.
ancient wisdom that I couldn't access before. Right. And I was just like, wow, everything is there. And I was so fascinated by it. And astrology, I mean, we're talking probably a lot about astrology here today. It's also a part of human design, because
Okay.
we have all the planets there, and it's part of the whole system. But I wasn't too much into it at first, but I kind of understood how it's all related. And then also when I was studying at the time, so I studied with Karen Parker, the conversation came up a couple of times. Well, there's also sidereal, and some people were talking about it, and she even talked about, yeah, there's also sidereal astrology, and then your human design chart is different. And I just was not interested at all. Like, my body had no resonance whatsoever in the beginning. I was just interested in the regular human design, which is based on tropical astrology. And hey, that got
Okay.
that got me really great results. I really resonated with my human design. I felt never like so seen before in my life, where I really understood, like, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm okay. Like, I just need to do it my way and trust myself. That was kind of the big thing. Um, as I continued on this journey of trusting myself, because that's really, if I want to simplify human design, that's the big message, because we can get very complicated and go into many details. But the big thing was, like, your head is not here to make decisions. It's your body, and trust what your body pulls you towards, right? And as I followed that, late last year, a little bit over a year ago, all of a sudden, actually, my clients, they were starting to talk about sidereal again. The topic came up. I was like, okay, I'm listening, and I actually invited them to talk about it in our courses and stuff. And all of a sudden, my body started to feel some resonance. There was something there. I was like, ooh, that's really interesting. And then I started to investigate a little bit on YouTube here, right? And I started to check out some other people that probably also went onto this journey, and first with tropical, and then eventually they've somehow, I think it found me. It's not like I wasn't looking for anything, because I was very content with human design. My business was going well. And it was actually more of a disruption for my business, to be honest, because once I understood what especially true sidereal astrology is, where so eighth and Shemanti from Mastering Zodiac, and I learned that, well, true sidereal is what's really up in the sky. And I was like, what do you mean? I mean, I thought that's what astrology is. Like, what,
We
are you
all thought
joking?
that. Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, we humans just believe things just like that, right? Like, we don't even question it. So it was a big wake up moment for myself of how blind I and Alina can be. And I also have to say, I really resonate with Ethan's approach, because he's so down to earth. You want to ask a question?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Hence the hand. Um,
Yeah, I figured.
so could you tell us when and how this system came about?
The
Which one?
human design or true
Human
sidereal?
design. Human design.
Yeah, so human design there was this man, he calls himself Ra Uruhu. I think his original name is Robert Krakauer. And I think it was in 87, I think. I may be off a year here. But he had this magical experience over several days in Ibiza. And that's when he started to receive, he calls it the voice. So it was a download from source. And he called it the human design system, right? And that's kind of when it all started.
Okay. So what parts of this are ancient then?
So what's ancient about this is that human design is a combination of many different systems. The most ancient probably is the Chinese I Ching, which
Okay.
goes back thousands of years, where we have these 64 hexagrams. And this is this ancient wisdom I was talking about, these 64 archetypal energies that really, to me, explain how the universe works. It already there talks about the divine feminine, the divine masculine, how we have these polarities in life. And in human design, we call it the 64 gates. But it's really the same. It's really the same as the 64 hexagrams, but it's in a different language so we can better understand it, right?
Okay.
Because we live in a different age now, and the way it was written thousands of years ago, it may not click with us. So the way that Ra brought it into the world was through he gave the gates different names, or that's, I guess, the messages he received, what the names had. And every gate, so every of these archetypal energies has a lower expression. So when we are in our shadow state as humans, right, where we're more reactive, and like life is happening against us and to us in some way. But then there's also always a higher expression. And that's
Okay.
where we're more in alignment. We go more with the flow. We feel like life is happening for us. Everything has like a learning lesson. And this is really the cornerstone of the human design, because these 64 gates, we like, if you look in the sky, right? I mean, we have this in astrology, right? We have that 360-degree circle. And in human design, we have that as well. We also have the astrology signs around. And then it's split up in 64 evenly large gates, right? So they are about, if you do the math, I think it's around 5 to 6 degree or something like that each. And so depending on when you were born, the sun was in a certain gate in the sky. Now it depends what you use now, right? Tropical or true sidereal. At the time, the traditional human design is only using tropical, right? So right now,
Do they still?
yeah, I mean, I want to say 95% of people are using tropical.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
We're still like very disrupting the space right now, I think.
But disrupt it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so tell you something, when I really got into it at the end of last year and in the beginning of this year, I was just like, I cannot hold this knowledge back, because it felt so true in my body that I started to share with my clients. There was great resonance, and I started to see more alignment with people. Like something that felt off previously now started to click for people. And there were so many people that reached out to me, because I just like went onto my YouTube channel. I talked about it. This is amazing. And I'm now using True Sidereal and I love it. I mean, I was a little bit scared what people are going to say, but honestly, not too much. And I had so many people reach out to me thanking me, because there were ladies and I mean, people out there that had already discovered this 4 years ago or 3.5 years ago, but they were keeping quiet. There were like, yeah, they felt they got a lot of backlash from the traditional community. And so they thanked me that I had the courage to speak up about it. And that made me kind of like, oh, wow, this is really interesting. And made me also question a little bit, because this is not a conversation about what's right or wrong here, right? I mean, I just
Could be
care.
though. It could be.
Well, no,
Did
for many
it
people it is. Of course, that's why, I mean, people that have been so identified with their tropical chart, you know, and now all of a sudden, because with True Sidereal, it shifts in the sky. Your whole human design chart is different. You're a different type, most likely. You're different profile. I mean, it's like a freaking identity crisis for people. Like,
Did it
seriously.
surprise you, the resistance that you got from your community, like people who are still using tropical in their human design practice? Did it shock you, the level of resistance?
So in my immediate community, there was very little resistance because even before True Sidereal came to me, I started to teach human design in a very universal way because human design is not just the 5 types. That's kind of a cookie cutter version that actually was created later on. In the beginning, there were no 5 types. And most charts have elements of all 5 types because you really have to understand the circuitry and the energy of the gates and like, and even the profile lines, they have elements of what we learn about certain types. And think about it, we cannot put 9 billion people into 5 types. So because I already had this more all-inclusive approach, there were more like, oh yeah, this makes sense. So in my community, it was very well received. But I mean, I know other people, and they came to me and they reached out to me, or people that are in some very hardcore, old traditional human design Facebook groups, and I had a little bit of interesting stories where people really started to fight, and this is wrong, and you can't do this, and like this more separation going on, which to me that's all shadow frequency, right? With anything. Because look, we can have different opinions. We can resonate with different things in life, right? Like I don't care what you
Yeah.
resonate with, but as long as it helps you, and I even if it's tropical, that's awesome. It's not like I want to put my opinion onto you. I'm just sharing with you what my journey is, what resonates. And hey, look, I worked 4 years with my tropical chart and it was life-changing. And then there was the next level of evolution. So I think that's actually one of the hexagrams, the 35th. It's all about change. The only constant we have in life is change. And even in astrology, you guys will know this. I mean, some of the planets we're using now, like they weren't even there 100 years ago, right? So everything is constantly changing and shifting. Even the true sidereal astrology can evolve and change.
Oh,
Right.
Friar has a question.
I do. So do does human design and I Ching and gene keys, do they all naturally go together, or is this something that someone put together, like taking these 3 separate systems and working them together? Like, could you use human design, cosmic sidereal human design by itself, or does it require knowledge of those 2 other things?
You don't have to, but I find it extremely helpful because so human design is not only based, so it has elements of the Chinese I Ching, of astrology, of even Kabbalah, of Western and Eastern astrology, quantum physics. There's so many different elements in human design. So where it all comes together is the 64 archetypal energies. So we have in the Chinese I Ching, we have the 64 hexagrams. In human design, we call them the 64 gates. And in the gene keys, we have the 64 gene keys. Now, the gene keys was developed by Richard Rudd. He also was actually a human design teacher for many, many years. He actually wrote books about human design. And then he received his own downloads, just like Ra had his own, magical moments. And he's also very deeply poetic. And he just wrote his version. You can call it the gates, but he called it the gene keys. And he also has epigenetics in there. So there's a lot with the amino acids, and it's really fascinating. But he
Okay.
describes, so if you have a gate in your human design chart, for example, right? Let's say gate 25 is in your human design chart somewhere. You can look up the 25th gene key because that's the same energy as the gate 25. It's just a different interpretation by another person that may more resonate or not
Okay.
with you. Does that
So
make sense?
it does. I take it that the gene keys do not require like a blood test or like a DNA test or anything.
No,
No, no. Okay.
no. It's also just like with human design and astrology to get your gene keys it's called a hologenetic profile. You have to enter just your date of birth, right? And then it kind of pulls up. And what it really is, it's certain elements of your human design chart. Certain gates that you have in the human, it's your sun and your earth, conscious and unconscious, Venus, Mars, unconscious moon, and then we have Jupiter as well. So it's just some elements out of the human design chart.
Okay. Out of personal curiosity, what parts of Kabbalah are in this system? I would love to know.
Yeah, so I have found, so the channels that we have in human design, so I talked about these 64 gates, right? And when two gates come together, they create a channel. And these channels, so that there's basically two energies are coming together and they create one in some way. And in the Kabbalah, we have the tree of life. And I didn't learn the specifics. They don't really teach much about it, but that's where you find that wisdom. These 64 channels we have, apparently they correlate to the wisdom that's being taught in the tree of life in Kabbalah. Now, I actually started to study Kabbalah a little bit deeper this year because also it came to me kind of like, oh, okay.
Okay.
And David Guillaume, he's amazing. There's this thing, Kabbalah 1 out there. And I started to study a little bit more. And I found a lot of the same wisdom that I learned in the Kabbalah back in the wisdom of the gates and also in the gene keys. So it really, in essence, it's all the same. It's just explained in different ways and different words. And so more people can access the wisdom because it's like we here, right? We love astrology or the different systems we have access to today. And we could all talk about astrology or human design, but one person may get it from Nikki, one person may get it from Priya, one from, Abby. Like it's a person. It's not the system.
Gotcha.
Interesting. That's a theory Fryer has had for a little while. He's been entertaining that it's not actually anything to do with the system, that it's more about like the person giving the readings or the sessions or the whatever, which is possible. I don't know.
I think so. Totally.
Kind of along those lines, you guys, I had a reading yesterday with Michael Hartigan from One Sky Astrology. I'm doing his Thursday. We were switching trading readings or whatever. It was really good. But it was interesting to see because he uses all kinds of fixed stars and like minor planets and asteroids that I don't bother with because, I'm a savage over here when I do stuff. But it was interesting because it was just interesting to watch all the information that he gets that I get from the different places in the chart, but it's telling you a lot of the same stuff. It was just really interesting. And I think that kind of goes to what you're saying, Analena, like it's like you can still get, really good, powerful, helpful information from all these different systems, which I would imagine we can all kind of get behind. I would imagine anyways.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. We have all the information in books, right? About astrology, even human design. We have all the books about the 5 types and the gates. You can look it all up. But that doesn't give people results. That doesn't get people results because that's just the information.
Okay.
So I find...
What are the 5? Oh, I apologize. Go ahead.
So what I find really gets people like life-changing results is when I listen to a person, I want to hear them. I mean, where they're at. I'm not want to throw like a bunch of information on them. That's not going to do much. So once I hear the person and I ask question, then I intuitively tune into certain aspects in the chart. And the more I get out of my head and out of the information, the more powerful the sessions are. And this is actually, my body showed this to me because when I first did human design readings, of course, you start like, well, you need to talk about the type and you need to like share all this information and da-da-da. And of course, people want to know, but I started to almost get burned out. And I was like, oh, something is wrong here. I don't know if I can keep doing it. Until one day I was like, you know what? I need to let go of like oversharing information in readings. And I need to be actually physically present with a client, set the intention to be of highest service to them, and less is more. And it totally is. And I've never gone back. That's why I only offer intuitive human design and Gene Keys readings.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Nikki,
Nikki,
what are you
I'm
going to
curious. Yeah, I was curious about what the 5 types were. I know I Googled, I looked at it, but just for our viewers, if you wanted to talk about the 5 types and like why you don't like to categorize people just specifically into those 5 types. Because similarly, we have this conversation when it comes to the elements in astrology.
Yeah, right.
So,
Or the signs.
yeah.
Like, yeah. So we have, we have these 5 types. It's called the manifester, the generator, the manifesting generator, reflector, and projector. Now, when you read the textbooks, you learn some very specific things. I'm just going to give you like one sentence about each of the types because there's obviously more to it. But the basic thing is like, okay, the manifester is here to initiate things, right? The generator is here to respond to life and only what lights you up. The manifesting generator is a little bit of a blend of the generator and the manifester, but it's also here mainly to respond because we call it a generator type. And for both the manifestor and manifesting generator, informing is very important because when we don't inform, we can receive a lot of resistance around us. And also the manifesting generator is this like multi-passionate energy, right? Where it's like a little bit all over the place and you don't fit into any kind of box. And that was for me because I'm a manager and tropical. Oh, it was godsend for me because I always thought I have to pick a niche and put myself into like one way and I just couldn't. So that's that. And then we have the projector. Projectors are very powerful guides and so we also have this strategy to make decisions. It's about being invited into something, right? And then have really make the biggest impact. And it's also about recognition. And then the reflector, we talk mainly about it, which I think most reflectors are tired to hear this these days. Like they're really lunar beings. They really live with the lunar cycle. And I mean, I think we all do. It's not just for them. And they're also like highly sensitive to their environment, to their community. And they're really here to also reflect back the health and well-being of the community. So again, there's more to each type with this. What I started to notice over time is that there started to be this black or white thinking. So where like people were like, well, if you're not a manifestor, you cannot start anything. Right? It's a little bit extreme. Or what? I'm a projector. Like I'm not here to respond. We are all here to respond to life. I mean, that's actually something in Kabbalah, and you like say. So it's like, hold on. And the informing, for example, that was a game changer for me for my business and my personal life when I started to inform people more about what I was up to. And then I started to realize, you know what? That's the best relationship advice for anyone. Anyone that incorporates informing into their life has a much better life and business. And I see this everywhere. And so I have started to realize we learn this through the archetype. So I call them archetypes, no longer types, but it's really for all of us. I, as a manager, may really radiate this energy out into the world. Like, yeah, you can be multi-passionate and it's okay. And the niche is you in that way, right? Like it's not just one thing that you do, but bringing all of your multiple talents together. But I'm showing this to other people so they can also model that. Because after I did hundreds of readings and also understanding, especially these 64 gates, so there are gates in the charts and there are also lines. We have these 6 lines in human design. So for example, the 3 line, anyone that's a 3 line profile, like a 3-5, a 1-3, 6-3, like you're going to relate a lot to the manifesting generator because it's a very experimental energy. So the other thing, the majority of energies in any human design chart are projected energies, meaning they come best out when it's through an invitation, which basically means you get asked from somebody. You're not pushing it onto one, right? It's like it comes about from you are being your most authentic self, you share your gifts and talents, and then it's like a person, a situation, life invites you into a new opportunity. And that applies to all of us too, not just for the projector. So I just, through my own, and human design is what? It's an experiment. Most people forget this. It's not a dogma that's telling you how to live your life. I mean, I think that would be very sad. because it's totally disempowering this way, right?
Okay.
But when you experiment, you want to be in your own sovereignty and decide and make your own opinions of what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And I always say anything with human design that doesn't work for you, let it go. Only the things that really enhance your life, make your life better, and give you the permission to be fully yourself, which I think that's really what all these tools here are for, because we're holding back, right? We're dimming our light, we're playing small, we're afraid of rejection and judgment from people. So we're like being nice, people pleasing. I think we are, mostly all of us, really good at this. And if human design, astrology, gene keys, or any other tool helps you to accept yourself at a deeper level and have more courage to be who you are and speak your truth and follow that calling that you have in your heart and your soul, then it's awesome. And if it does anything but that,
Okay.
so when it leads to, so what I saw happening with many people was like, yeah, Analena, like I want to do this, but I'm this type and I think I can't because it says XYZ. I'm like, well, let it go. I had projectors reach out to me numerous times and apologizing to me. I'm so sorry I'm reaching out to you because I'm not supposed to initiate. I'm like, start a conversation? Like, what is this?
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's really bad, actually. So I think this is our human tendency. I mean, it gives us, I guess, safety that we have a guideline or something telling us what to do, but it always just comes because we're not trusting ourselves. And so in a way, I also find that actually the big blessing of human design with this 5 type kind of categorization is actually good because it brings up all of our human shadows because they have to come up, right? And then we can transcend it. I mean,
Okay.
when we are aware of it. That's why the way I teach human design is very different than what you can read in the textbooks. I
So
It
cannot even read them in.
sounds different. We talked to a few. See, full disclosure, I had no idea what human design was until this past Saturday.
Oh,
We
really?
did,
Nice.
yeah, we did a pre-recorded call. A few gentlemen from Rumble, they sat with us because they couldn't make the Wednesday show. So we were going to do like a pre-recorded one. And so that was my first time. I heard like human design. I'm just like, okay, so you're what, like doing biohacking or something? I don't know. I don't get out much. I have a very limited, I'm really good at the things that I know, and the rest of it, I don't know what's going on in most of the world. So,
Mm.
it, uh, I got the sense, and it could have just been from the two people. It could be because they're of the male persuasion. Sometimes that factors in, no offense, Fryer. I'm generalizing, of course. But it does sound like you're using it as a flexible tool for, I like how Fryer usually says it, for self-inquiry.
yes.
And not necessarily. It as some sort of like rigid, structure to escape the matrix or whatever nonsense. So, which is nice. And I don't know if that's because you're just a naturally intuitive person. You're very introspective. You're not trying to, start a cult or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know. So,
definitely not.
yeah, yeah. So I like your approach to it. I definitely do.
Thanks. Thank you.
So how
Yeah.
does this system allow you to transform yourself?
So it's not that the system, it's more about yourself, right? It's more that the system is here just like any other tool, like astrology, Enneagram, gene keys, that it helps you see parts about yourself that you're not seeing, right? So
Okay.
I give you an example. When I first discovered my human design, because I always learned in the whole business coaching that I always have to get into my client's head and I have to talk about my client, and you shouldn't talk about yourself. It's egocentric, right? And then I had this 2145 channel, which is called the money channel in human design. By the way, it's no guarantee you're going to be a millionaire. It has nothing to do with that because people always ask me. And that channel, my teacher was teaching me or talking about like, oh, well, when you have this channel, you actually need to talk about yourself. I was like, oh, that's really interesting, you know? And that gave me permission to share my story, and storytelling is so damn important, right? And then I discovered I had so much storytelling in my chart, and I always was using stories in my teachings and talking to people. And I learned best with storytelling. So somehow my human design chart brought this to my awareness of how important this is. And it resonated so deeply in my body, right? Things that they were deep inside me, but I couldn't access them. I didn't see them. So it's like almost like a reflection back to you.
Okay. That's great. When I think of transformation, I think of sort of looking at your old self and then maybe examining the things that you might want to change and then implementing those changes. Does this system allow that to happen? And if so, how?
Yeah, so I think I mentioned earlier that all these 64 gates we have in the chart, we also have 9 centers, which are similar to the 7 chakras. It's just at some point in time, I think it was in 1871 or 1781, long time ago, 2 of the chakras split into 2. That's why we have 9 centers in the human design
Which
chart.
ones?
The heart chakra and the solar plexus.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we became 9-centered beings. Again, according to human design, it's like we don't have any scientific proof for any of this, right?
Sure.
But any of these centers and any of these gates and also these channels we're talking about that are related to the Kabbalah, the tree of life, there can be a shadow expression when we're more in the victim reactive kind of state of being, when we're more in the ego, and there's a higher expression. So as you work with your human design chart, you can clearly see where you're more in the shadow. And so it really helps you to bring that to your awareness so you can then also shift more into the higher gift frequencies with that. I mean, for me, it has helped me tremendously. I mean, just to give you some examples, I used to, play small so much in my business because I always had this huge fear of rejection, right? But it wasn't like conscious for me. And with my human design, so I'm a 2-4 profile in my tropical chart. And the 4 line has this big fear of rejection, right? And I was like, oh, wow. And then I was first like, oh, this is normal. This is actually a human thing. I didn't even dare to talk about it because I thought there's something so wrong with me. I was ashamed. But when I saw, hey, everyone that has a 4 line, I'm probably not the only one, right? Probably millions of people. So it's like, oh, it's kind of normal. We have a fear of rejection as humans, right? And as I started to see that that's just what it means to be human, all these shadows. I saw myself in such a different light, and I could slowly start to work with it and release it and start to speak my truth and move through the fear of rejection. Because there's always so much beauty on the other side when we can actually take action despite the fears that are coming up. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question about the gene keys. Like you had said that when you started studying the gene keys, it kind of helped you unlock
Gives you also
the answers to like the universe, and I thought that was really awesome. So I don't know. I was kind of hoping you could just talk about that a little bit more. Did she freeze up, or is it me?
It might be her. I hear you and stuff.
Oh, she could probably still hear us then.
I was
We'll
for
just wait
sure
for it.
frozen for a while, like when we first got going. So someone in the chat, I already don't know. Somebody said that YouTube has been sketchy the last couple days. Oh, I think it was Fryer actually. So maybe, yeah, so that's possible. My VPN's all wonky, like all kinds of weird stuff. I thought maybe it's because it was snowing, although that really shouldn't do it. But
Oh.
who knows, sometimes.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I think we lost her.
Oh no.
She'll definitely be back.
She'll pop back on.
Yeah, she will.
Hey,
Fryer.
Nikki. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go.
Nikki, who did your hair? Who gave you that fantastic
Oh,
designer
shut
haircut?
up. Yes, I cut my hair actually. I did. Were you worried I cut it all off? Were you like, oh my God? She said she cut her hair. She
Glad you
was
didn't
acting
grab
a
the
little
clippers.
crazy.
I'm gonna lean the more back.
Yes.
Back. Yeah, my internet. I switched to my hotspot.
No worries. Everybody's struggling out there, it looks like, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, I don't
Nikki,
know
you were
what's the
asking her
last thing you
something?
said. Yeah.
Yeah, you had mentioned the gene keys and you were really passionate about it. You were like, yeah, started learning about the gene keys and it just really unlocked like all the mysteries of the universe for me. And like I'm so curious. So I want that. So I was just wondering more
Yeah.
about it. You know, you don't have to like go into gross detail. I know there's a lot of gene keys, what
Mm-hmm.
or just like is it just like the
64.
gate? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So just like I said, right, the gene keys have evolved from human design. It's not the same, obviously, but there are certain gene keys. So when you pull up your profile, you want to spend really deep contemplative time with one gene key at a time. It's actually so it's called actually the art of contemplation. That's the method of the gene keys, which is really a very Kabbalistic approach where it's all about slowing down, about taking pauses, and really, or like a very Zen-like way of living where we're just living in the present moment. And so what you do is like, let's say you have gene key 13 in your life's work. That's the first gene key you have in the profile. And it's not about I need to figure it out. You would actually read the gene key, which is very deep. It's very poetic. Richard Rudd is also a poet. And you read it. And first, you may not get it, right? The way he describes it. But I have found like it unlocks something within you. And it says it in the gene keys, it like activates something that's already inside of you, but it's finally being activated. And then you start to notice, especially those shadows, how they show up in your life. So we know this from Jung, right? We make the unconscious conscious. That's how we shift our patterns. That's really what both human design, especially the gene keys, are doing for us. And as I'm aware then, and I'm having a more gentle and slow approach to life, I can, in those moments, instead of reacting, I can respond to life from a place of love rather than from a place of fear. So yeah, and over time, of course, you dive into more gene keys. It's actually recommended to spend a whole month with just one gene key, which I think for us in today's society is challenging because we want to know everything. Like I want to figure out my chart, right? It's kind of like, and have always been into slowing down. And actually my podcast that I just recently relaunched, it was called The Art of Slowing Down for almost 3 years. Now it's called The Magic Pause. So actually taking it to the next level. And really the gene keys are all about slowing down and taking magic pauses. And so is Kabbalah. And it's the same with human design. We can use it in a way to overwhelm the mind and get caught up in overthinking. It's not going to do anything for us. It's just candy for the mind, really, right? The real transformation is when we go slow and really deep into a few elements. That's why I love this intuitive approach, right? Where I just go into a couple of elements in a chart. And I bring in also now the gene keys because I have been working with them for so many years now that I know them pretty well. And then, of course, I also share it in my own practical language. And it seems to really, really resonate with people. Where they kind of like understand the energy. Because these 64 gates, right? And these gene keys, you're going to find millions of descriptions online and in books because people interpret them in different ways. And I think that's great because, like we said earlier, sometimes we have to hear it from that person for us to actually click.
I have a question. So, from the astrology side of it, like, can you look at a chart in isolation away from the rest of the, the I Ching, the rest of the human design stuff? Like, can you do that also, like traditional astrology or like either natal or predictive? Is that something that you can do?
Can you, I didn't fully understand your question. Are you talking right now with gene keys, human design?
No, just like, so I know human design implements true sidereal astrology, at least the kind that you do. is it so like is your knowledge of astrology such that you could look at a chart or something and like just look at it like, or if somebody says, you know, Venus is in Scorpio, is that something that you can like provide any type of feedback to them, or is it like it's more the combination of things?
So if I got your question right, I can also give you some astrology insight. I'm not the expert with astrology, but
I get what you're saying.
we actually have, so I use Genetic Matrix. That's a software to pull your human design chart. And there's a version where you have the human design chart and there's the astrology behind. So I'm going to have my gate there. For example, my sun gate is gate in True Sidereal 38. And then it also has, it's Capricorn and it's in the third house. So it already has everything there because every gate is in a sign and it's in a particular house, depending obviously on what system you use, right?
I gotcha.
So I definitely, by now, I blend in everything.
Okay.
It just is a even deeper experience because it's all connected.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna take a look at the sky here for the next week, probably. So running up until like the 19th or 20th. So I'm gonna just give some, you know, my take on it here. Nikki's gonna jump in, and then if you wanna, Analena, like you're welcome to, you know, see if there's anything that you pull up intuitively or just whatever. Like you're welcome to. Fryer, you too. You're welcome to jump in here. You guys are. It's all you guys. So, let me double check. Is this the right day and time, you guys? I don't know. Where are we at? What's today? The 13th of November. I usually try to check beforehand.
Yes.
I definitely forgot. All right. So this program that I'm using for anybody out there who's watching this is Stellarium. Download for free at stellarium.org. It is super awesome. There's a guy out there, he does, what's it called? It's like archaeoastronomy or something, his channel. He does have a tutorial. It's only like a 10-minute tutorial. It's not hard. I've had a few people come to me and say, like, I couldn't figure it out. It's really easy. Like, you just have to download it, open it up, and it's pretty much ready to go. So there's not like a lot you have to do to it. So if anybody's out there is interested, definitely check that out. All right. So what's going on? So as we can see here, the sun is right smack in the middle of Libra. Definitely not in Scorpio. It is not Scorpio season. Who's ever telling you it is Scorpio season is either smoking something great and you should get some, or, you know, they're just trying to make money or get clicks, or I don't know what I couldn't say. I could only speculate. Okay. So, what sun in Libra means is going to depend, like the seasonal stuff really depends on which hemisphere you live in, what part of the world you live in. You know, in some places, this is the harvest season. It's not necessarily the growing season. It really can go either way. So I try not to add the seasonal stuff into it. What I can tell you though, all right, from Mesopotamia. So this figure right here was Utu or Shamash, as he was called in Babylon. And if you look him up, it's going to say, well, he was, you know, the god of law and justice. He does have a connection for this reason to this part of the originally what were the scales of this, the claws of the scorpion. If you look it up, they're going to say he was, you know, he had a scimitar, he chopped off the hands of thieves and whatnot. But if you actually read his myths, he doesn't do any of those things. He's always helping people. He acts as a guide. He's always talking his sister Venus off the ledge before she does something crazy. He helped her. He's like bringing her presents. He took her to the underworld so she could eat from the tree of sexual knowledge, which she does and gets. And that's why she's the goddess of, you know, sexuality and all of the fun stuff that goes with that. So really in Babylonian astrology or Mesopotamian astrology, we're going to look at the sun to tell you what you need to be doing in this lifetime in order to be a guide. So for the world at large, like Analena said, we're looking at 8 billion people. Okay, so this is generalizing heavily. While the sun is in here, the claws of the scorpion were very much related to the tribe, the marketplace, and being out in the world. Okay, so this is, for that reason alone, more of a social time. Please don't isolate yourself. Now, if you are in the Northern Hemisphere and you're a little bit farther north, like yours truly, it can be a time where it gets a lot darker outside and kind of generally sucks and you don't go out as much. You're not doing as much. So like you may need to force yourself a little bit more to, you know, go out there and be in the community. If you have an online community, That's probably sufficient, although, you know, physical human contact and being around people sometimes is also a plus. If you don't have an online community, you are more than welcome to join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. We have a free meditation support group. We do not just talk about meditation. We usually don't talk a lot about meditation, depending on how much we meditated that week. But that's another type of place where you can go and get some support for whatever it is that you're dealing with and going through. So we do have that. Now, Mercury is, and this was going on last week too, very close, if not conjunct with Antares. This was the Lisi goddess. She was associated with basically helping humans on behalf of, she was interceding on behalf of humanity. You guys, I'm so tired. I don't know if you can tell. I went back to the gym last week. It's definitely taken its toll. But this allows people, especially people like Analena, like Friar, Nikki, and myself, we're all in a career which allows us to listen to other people and hopefully provide helpful guidance and make their lives better. People like that, this is a really great placement because it's tuning us in. It's allowing us to really listen, tune in on a deeper level, and hopefully we can use that to help people. Now, if you don't have a career like that, or you don't have a strong Antares where people are just coming out of the woodwork, the crazy people or people in need and help, you may not notice as much of this, but you know, it can definitely serve you. It's a great time to, like I said, go out, be around people and listen and try to, you know, make yourself and the world a better place. Venus is pretty closely conjunct still with the galactic center. This is an extremely empathic planet and an extremely intuitive placement. This is going to kick everybody's empathic ability up to another level. Now, I don't like to generalize too much. It doesn't matter. Anytime Venus is over here, everybody's going to get it to some degree. Now, if you are surrounding yourself with a bunch of toxic people, or, you know, you live in a place where you don't really resonate with the people around you, this might not be a good thing because you might, you know, just feel all of their stuff so much stronger than normal. But at the same time, Sagittarius is the constellation of success. So Venus moving into here over the next, let's see, hold on. Let me, rather than take a terrible guess, let's see. It's going to be here through, well, I'm going to put it around December 6th, but technically we'll still get some good stuff when it goes into Capricorn for reasons we'll talk about later. But basically, this is going to, any work that you're doing, healing your body, healing your heart, healing your relationships. I'm not saying you have to personally heal a relationship. That's a two-way street, right? But basically, you know, working on yourself. This is all benefited while Venus is in Sagittarius. It's a very, very powerful time. So hopefully you guys can take advantage of that. Let me back up what's going on here. We're back on the 13th. What else is going on? Saturn still in Aquarius. That's been happening. The moon's swinging around really fast. I'm not going to go through the whole like moon in every sign because I just don't want to. Jupiter still in the Hyades. Very creative, powerful time. Now, again, if your life is in shambles, this may be helping you, forcing you to get things together. If you're already like on the right path and, you know, like you got your shit together, so to speak. This is probably making things much more creative for you. Got a lot more vitality and a lot more just energy to put into the cool stuff that you actually want to do. While Mars is in Cancer, how many days we got here? Oh, it's, wait, let me go back. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. Yes. And it's slow. Oh, it's going retrograde and stuff. Okay, we're not going to worry about that. But while Mars is in Cancer, let me go back. What's it again? 13th, you guys? Yeah, sounds right.
Yep.
This was, yes, this was the entrance to the underworld. And Mars was the god of the underworld. He was the god of war, death, pestilence, and like war and victory. And I said war already. Victory. So, but this is him right at home. All right. So this is a very, very powerful placement. But I will tell you, what normally ends up happening when Mars gets into Cancer, it kind of makes both Mars and Cancer much more cognitive. But we're not talking about like reading books and learning cool stuff like we're talking about on this call today. This is much more learning about yourself. This is all subjective mind. It's all trying to figure out your place in space and time. Who am I? What don't I like about myself? Where are my fears, my insecurities? Now, if you hide from those things on a regular basis, this is going to suck because this is going to force you to have to face your inner demons, all of your bullshit that you've been lying to yourself or other people about. So not always a comfortable place to be. But if you meditate. If you're not just a big ball of stress, this can actually take you to another level and allow you to really access just the mysteries of the cosmos. Namely because this place, which by the way was originally a turtle, most likely a turtle. There's no evidence that it was a crab, but it was called the seat of Anu. Now, Anu was the supreme celestial deity, very similar to like anybody's current concept of a supreme creator god is basically the same thing. This being his seat, again, shows us when the mind is calm, when Mars is right here at home, he's on his throne and he's just relaxed. He's confident, he's fierce, he's not afraid to be intimate or passionate. This is when he acts this help you guys. This is when he connects to the cosmos. There we go. I don't know. I'm not formulating words very well. So I think this is a good thing. You're probably going to hear from other people. Oh, everybody's really emotional, blah, blah, blah. It depends on the individual, you guys. I mean, we're for real just generalizing. All right, I'll shut up now. Nikki, what do you got?
I think you did really well. I totally would have said the same thing about Mars. Yeah, I don't know. This cycle, this new moon cycle started with Saturn trining Saturn. So we had this kind of going into this cycle with patience, this logical sensibility. As we're moving through it, the moon's going to be, what is it? The full moon's on the 15th, right? And it's going to be conjunct Uranus. And I haven't looked to see if there's any it's going to be a crazy full moon. I can't wait to look. But I don't see that actually. I don't see it being one of those crazy lunatic full moon weeks though. I see it more of reevaluating our own values, our own, structures and things like that. We're kind of still revisiting the old ways, our old foundations, the old ways of doing things. And we can't really move on to the new and exciting things until we finished our little Saturn journey. And Saturn stations direct, I think, the same day as the full moon, right?
I'll trust your judgment.
I think so. I'm pretty sure it does. So the Saturn lessons are going to pick up and begin, but it's just going to be a real slow, steady race. I mean, it's just another one of those cycles where you have to really be patient. We've built a lot of our own safety and well-being and all these values, and they've been shooken up. I think a lot of people are shooken up at the election. I mean, honestly, politics haven't really affected me much. It doesn't affect really my life choices. So, I don't know. I haven't been getting a whole lot of sleep. I feel like I'm rambling now.
You're doing a fine job. A fine job.
Yeah. Well,
if anybody out there has questions about this week, put it in the chat and we'll see if we can get you some insight on that. Analena, did you have any opinions on maybe any of this upcoming stuff? You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, no, I'm in my zone with the human design and gene keys. I'm listening, especially when there's so much up in the sky. I'm like, ooh. It's
there's a lot going on out there.
I enjoy listening to this. But yeah, I mean, that's we can see, right? The sun is in Libra, and it's just for me, there's everything in the mainstream is it's in Scorpio, right? But it's not.
It's definitely not. It's not even a little bit.
For me, the way that I started to see when I learned about the true sidereal or the true sky is maybe the world is struggling so much because we're kind of bent. We are already too fast, right? I mean, tropical is too fast, in my opinion, right? Because it's already one sign ahead. But that's why everything is so fast and paced, everything. And if we could just relax into the straightness of what's up in the sky, I think we would feel much more peace and calm in our bodies. And yeah, because we're kind of forcing us into an energy that's not naturally there. I mean, we're close to it, right? But it's not that natural alignment.
It's almost an entire sign off. Like it's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
we've talked about it. And I mean, these planets are moving into constellations that activate certain energies. And those aren't the energies being talked about. It's completely misleading. That's why I don't like tropical. I feel like it's just I have not heard an excuse as to why or how it's actually functional and can apply and you can get useful information out of it. Like I have not heard anything like other than, oh, it's just, you know, what people have to do because they're used to it. But you know, we have you know, Uranus going through Taurus, and which I think is really good. He's really shaking up a lot of people's like inner foundations and what they really believe, and taking another look at just you know, taking another look at it and slowing down. You know, that's what this whole cycle has been about, is like patience and slowing down. I've seriously, guys, I've been watching the transits and I'm like, okay, come on, Jupiter, get out of retrograde. Like, is there any way you can like move it like a day too early? Like these retrogrades are just like killing me a little bit. And that just has to do with like my own little person, you know, what's going on in my personal chart. So, but yeah, so with Saturn stationing, I'm pretty happy about that. Like, let's get a move on it. Like,
Yes. I think chat with Lorna said, I think that's who said it, that it was stationing this week. Matthew Blake says his Mars return is happening now. Congratulations.
Nice.
Yeah. Could be great, could suck. Really could go either way. Just depends
Yeah,
on.
I hope you get like, yeah, I hope you have a good time.
Chat with Lorna, the Merry Mystic says, even sidereal astrologers don't always follow the true astronomical. It adds to the confusion. Okay, I have some insight on that. So, maybe it's okay. So the first division of the houses was developed in the Babylonian period, and they just needed a way to basically, they were in love with the number 360 and multiples of 30 and 60 and stuff. So it was just, it worked out for them. They just needed a way to be able to easily say, hey, this planet was over in this part of the sky. So they're the ones who just made like the equal division of the houses. I can use that chart and not have any problems giving someone an accurate reading, but also consider that when they're in between, I have a good idea of where the constellations actually are, even looking at a 30-degree chart. You don't need to get hung up on the degree. I don't think so. Some people are very rigid about it. You really don't have to, because anytime, so like, I don't know, this is in 2033, so doesn't apply to right now. But for example, the moon being right here between these two constellations, to know the exact degree is useless, because you're going to get pulled from both of these, you know? So like sometimes knowing the precise thing, it doesn't matter. Another good example is like this space between, sure, this is where the current picture of Libra is, but the farther back you go, it changes. So you can't get super hung up on like, you know, the exact stars. The stars that they use were not necessarily the original stars. Some of them, a lot of them, most of them, maybe, we don't even know what they originally were. We have a pretty good idea. But some of it is different. Let me give you an example since we're talking about this real quick. Sorry to go into like teaching mode, but I mean, it came up. So
Oh, go for it.
where are we at here? I'm looking for, let's look for the mulapin. Okay, so as you can see here is, now I don't agree with some of this, but for the most part, I have found this version to be pretty accurate and in line with the original placements. So this boat, I don't think was this far beneath Sagittarius. I think it was farther down here. As you can see, this tail of the scorpion, the way that it's drawn. Now, this is used, these are based on particular stars that they think were the original stars. As you can see, the tail of the scorpion actually overlaps with the bow and arrow here of Sagittarius. Same thing, I think up here, what do we have? So Zababa, who is this figure, his legs, I don't even think they touch the ecliptic in this version. So like for anybody to get hung up on the exact division of the sky or, you know, the degrees, I think is a giant waste of everybody's time. Like you're missing the forest for the trees or, you know, whatever, pick an expression. Yeah, so hopefully that's helpful. I guess it's good if you want to like lock yourself into kind of like Analena was talking about, like those 5 archetypes. If you want to lock yourself into one of those, I guess you can do that. But it's more nuanced than that. And as we all know, or hopefully know, you're really a combination of your entire chart. You're not really just a sun in Sagittarius or a, you know, Mercury in Taurus. Like you're a complex individual, and it all factors into each other, you know. All right, I'll show him now.
Where's Marduk?
Right now?
Where's Marduk?
In general?
Yeah.
Jupiter, he's in the Hyades.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's not Mars, you guys. Or Jupiter. Oh, I gotta go to sleep. Let's see. Nope, that's Saturn. Who am I looking for? Oh, Jupiter.
Marduk.
Oh, this is 2033. No wonder he's not where I think he is. Hold on. What's this year? 20?
It's 24.
There we go.
That's
the
I can
one.
tell. Yeah.
Yep, he's over here. Still beautiful outside. You guys, please go outside if you can see the sky. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
It's been clear and cool here, so yeah.
Yeah.
I can go
absolutely.
see. So is this why Marduk is giving my customers 50% off, you think?
Probably. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say that's exactly what's happening. All right. Friar, do you got a cool quiz for us today?
I have cool quizzes. I also have crazy astrology YouTubes, so whichever one you want to do.
We got time for a quiz, right? We don't have to do a full one. We could do like a half a quiz.
We could do quizzes, yeah. Do you want to do Therapeutically or yes, no, pass?
Do you got a new one, or is that a different, or which one?
So I got yes, no, pass, which is the old game, and I got Therapeutically, which is you have to choose between the two. It's the shorter game.
Oh, yeah. Which one? Whatever one we did with those dudes that I'm not naming, you guys. There's a reason I'm not naming them. It went off the rails hardcore, okay, in this conversation. Yeah, so like we're gonna have a whole episode dedicated to it, but I'm just not trying to promote their stuff right now, or probably ever. We'll stay tuned, subscribe. You know, we'll handle it at a later date. Yeah. So let's do the other one. Let's do whatever the other one was that we did the first one Saturday.
Oh, the other one. All right, yeah.
Yeah. So you talk, Friar. You describe it. My words are struggling.
Words are dumb and bad. All right, so here is the quiz. Here is a quiz for you.
You got to share the screen.
Okay. I'm making with the clicks. I promise. All right, so what you do, I've got 2 concepts. If you can see on the screen, I got 2 concepts across from each other here. You can keep one or the other. If you keep it, you make it real. And if the other one disappears forever. So it's like you're Thanos. You're gonna cut all these in half. So
it's just gone from reality for all time.
That's right. So if you pick Teal Swan, Abraham Hicks is gone forever. So
please don't pick Teal Swan. Who's picking? Okay. Sorry.
And Analena's picking.
Yes, Analena's picking. So whenever you're ready,
and we go with Abraham Hicks.
All right. And we kind of race through these because there's a lot of questions. So don't think about it too much. All right. A Brahmin ritual or Shem HaMepharash? Pick one.
You're asking me again? I don't even know what any of this is.
It's your quiz. You got to answer all the questions.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
No pressure.
The second one, the right.
All right, I like that one. Actual literal demons or actual literal vampires?
Vampires.
All right. Age of Aquarius or Dwapara Yuga?
Dwapara Yuga.
Nice. Agenda 2030 or bricks?
Bricks.
All right. Yay. Look who's so happy on there. Albert Pike or Helena Blavatsky?
Albert Pike. I don't know these
Uh,
people actually.
okay. Alchemy or neurolinguistic programming?
Alchemy.
Aleister Crowley or Israel Regardie?
Crowley.
All right. Love is the law. Alfred Adler or Carl Rogers?
Carl Rogers.
Alien abductions or hauntings?
Hauntings.
Ancestral guides or soul contracts?
Ancestral guides.
Ancient aliens or the Watchers?
Aliens.
Ancient giants or mud floods?
Ancient giants.
Angel numbers or numerology?
Angel numbers.
Angels or spirit guides?
Angels.
Anunnaki or Nephilim?
Anunnaki.
Good answer.
Antinomianism or or flirty fishing?
I want flirty fishing.
All right.
I gotta look it up. I can't do that.
Wow.
I need to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Just you wait. Archons or incubi and succubi? It's your choice. One stays, one goes. No pressure.
Did we
Analena, the
lose
universe
her?
is
Is
waiting.
she there? Is she frozen?
I think she's frozen.
Nikki,
I've been
go.
waiting
Your
for the
turn.
blink. Okay. I don't know. Let's keep the incubi, succubi. Why not?
Oh,
People like,
wow.
yeah.
All right.
Arranged marriages or polygamy? Oh, let's
Yeah.
do polygamy.
All right.
I don't like the kids getting married, you know. Astral travel, time travel.
It's your
Let's
choice.
keep astral travel. Oh, is
All
she
right.
back? Oh no, damn it.
No,
Okay.
she'll be back. Don't worry. Keep going.
All right. Okay, this is based on my mood today, okay?
Okay.
Hypnosis or astrocartography.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Let's keep hypnosis because I think that's some pretty cool shit.
Okay.
Let's keep Atlantis.
All right.
Guardian angels, they'd probably be really mad if I said not to keep them. So let's keep the guardian angels, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Babaji or Yogananda?
Oh my God. I don't know what that is. Are those people?
You gotta
Well,
pick
I think
one.
I
gotta
just
pick
got to
one.
pick one. Oh my God. I'll pick the yoga Nanda.
All right. Baneful magic or Ouija
I'll,
boards?
I'll pick some baneful magic.
Ooh.
Ouija never really works for me.
All right.
Bashar or let's pick the Drun guy.
All right. Drenny.
I'll keep the Baba Gita. I like that.
All right.
I want to
Bigfoot.
keep Bigfoot. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll get rid of the lizard people. Birds
It's gonna
aren't
be so
real or the
sad.
27 Club. Let's keep the 27 Club. It keeps it interesting.
Right. Slack
Let's
or
keep
Discordianism?
Discordianism.
All
Let's
right.
keep that.
Hail Eris.
Hail Eris, yes. Bohemian Grove or Club of Rome. Oh, I don't know what that is. Both of them sound like vacation spots.
They are if you're
Bohemian
Alex
Grove.
Jones.
Okay, let's keep. Stop. Okay, let's keep Bohemian Grove. Let's keep it because it sounds cool. Cakes of Light or Secret Chiefs. Oh, I love cake. Let's keep cake.
Oh,
That's
no.
cake. I don't know what they
All right.
mean, so
Okay.
I'll look it up later. But
Yeah, look it
All
up
I
right.
miss
later.
cake. I
Yeah,
miss
Look
yeah.
it
cake,
up
and
later.
You don't want
I
that
Nikki
cake.
will
will
All
take,
right.
have
hey,
to.
Nikki will take any kind of cake right now, even cakes of light.
Oh my. All right. We're back with
Amen.
Analena. Analena, you can return to the quiz.
Yes, please.
All right. So you have Carl Jung or Sigmund Freud.
That's a tough one. I don't want to have to decide. Well, Carl Jung.
All right. Carnivore diet or ice baths? Meat or freezing?
Carnivore diet.
All right.
Good decision.
Chaos magic or sex magic?
Sex magic.
Hmm. Chosen ones or kingdom spouses?
Chosen ones.
Comte de Saint-Germain or Grigory Rasputin?
Saint Germain.
All right. Copenhagen interpretation or multiple timelines model?
Multiple
Quantum physics.
timelines model.
Oh, all right. Cryptids or poltergeists?
Poltergeists.
Crystals or energy healing?
I want both.
Ah,
One's
that's why
got to
this quiz is
go.
painful.
I want to say energy healing, but my body wants crystals. I want to keep crystals. I like crystals.
All right, we'll go with crystals.
Yeah,
Bye
we
bye
need those
energy
for
healing.
like society to function because we have them in all of our technology. So that's probably the wise decision.
Yeah, probably. Damien Eccles or Manly P. Hall?
I don't know these people at all,
I don't
so
either. Don't feel bad.
Keep
um,
Manly. He's like, you should keep Manly P. Hall.
Manly people.
Yeah, yeah, he's okay. He's okay.
All
He's all
right.
right.
Dark matter and energy or humans on the moon?
Dark matter and energy.
All right. No humans on the moon. Divining rods or dowsing rods? Subtle difference.
Divining, divining rods.
Divining rods. Doppelgangers or possession?
Doppelgangers.
Dr. Joe Dispenza or Rupert Sheldrake?
Dispenser.
All right. Dualism or Jyotish?
It's a second. I don't know much about Yodish. Um, Dualism.
All right. Dybbuk boxes or soul traps? Hmm.
Civic boxes.
Yeah, we need those to catch the demons. That's important.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, yeah, we want to box the demons. We don't want to be boxed ourselves.
Right. That's right.
Electric universe or fake moon?
Electric universe.
All right. That's the correct answer. Elemental magic or Mandela effect?
Elemental magic.
All right. Emmanuel Velikovsky or Zakaria Sitchin?
Zachariah Sitchin.
Empaths or twin flames?
Empath.
Enneagram or Myers-Briggs?
Enneagram.
Enochian or geomancy?
Geomancy. This is all Chinese to me.
No, it's fun though.
It's a learning
I
opportunity.
literally feel like dumb.
I don't know. I've been Googling things. Hey, I
Me
picked,
too. Me too.
what
Because
did
I
pick?
don't know what a bunch of these
Of
are.
light.
I feel
just
like I know
Googled that,
nothing.
so
Okay,
don't
next
worry.
I
It's
take
okay.
meditation. Because meditation, I can, yeah, meditation.
Okay.
Next is fasting.
All right. Flat Earth or Hollow Earth?
Yeah, but that's what? It's not flat, it's no, what?
So if you don't like Flat Earth, you can just choose Hollow Earth, and Flat Earth is gone forever. And thank
Yeah,
God.
hollow.
Hollow Earth. All right. Freemasonry or Voodoo?
Freemasonry.
Gallery of Magic or New Avatar Power?
New avatar power.
Ooh, Dihei Thuth. Gematria or Hekalot slash Merkaba Magic?
Gematria.
Ghost Hunters or Reincarnation?
Reincarnation.
Giza Pyramid Power Station or Nibiru?
The pyramid power station.
I like that one too. Gnosticism or the Matrix?
Uh, the Matrix.
The Matrix. Goetia or ritual magic?
Croatia.
Nice. Golden Dawn or Kabbalah?
Kabbalah.
All right. Grimoire magic or the left-hand path?
The left-hand path.
Ooh. Harry Potter or the craft?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa von Nettesheim or Robert Anton Wilson?
Agrippa.
Good. Hermes Trismegistus or Wilhelm Reich?
Mm, Wilhelm Reich.
All right. Holy Guardian Angel or self-replicating machine elves?
Holy Guardian Angel.
Human design, ooh, or psychoanalysis? Which will it
That's
be?
easy. Human design.
All right. Eminentizing the eschaton or the Illuminati?
The Illuminati.
All right. Jiddu Krishnamurti or Rudolf Steiner?
I went to Waldorf school, so I know that dude.
Okay.
Rudolf Steiner.
Kali Yuga or scientism?
Scientism.
Okay. Law of attraction or manifestation? Subtle difference.
Yeah, but I mean it's kind of the same. Manifestation.
All righty. Lilith or Lucifer?
Lilith.
Limerence or objects of reference?
Objects of net reference.
All right. Choose your crazy. Mediumship or near-death experiences?
And Andy.
NDEs. All right. Micronova or younger dry-ass impactor?
Micronova.
All right. MK Ultra or Project Monarch?
MK Ultra.
All right. Neville Goddard or quantum jumping?
Neville.
Nev. All right. New Age or paganism?
New Age.
New World Order or Scientology?
New World Order.
Yeah, that one's tough.
Damn.
Gotta get rid of
That one's a
one.
hard one. It is.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry,
Well,
did you pick one?
we can always say it's a different interpretation for me. You know, New World Order. I don't know.
All right.
I'd probably go that route too.
Nostradamus or Simpsons prophecies?
We definitely need the Simpsons prophecies. They also
All right. Oracle cards or tarot cards?
Oracle cards. Probably people don't like that. Okay.
Oumuamua spacecraft or the Black Knight satellite?
The spacecraft.
Alrighty. Perennial philosophy or progressivism?
Progressivism.
All right. PGM or the Book of Going Forth by Day? Greeks versus Egyptians.
The Book of Going Forth by Day.
You pick Egypt. Planetary magic or yoga?
Yoga.
Pokemon Sea or lunar mansions?
Pokemon Sea.
Prayer or thelema?
Prayer.
Prophecy or remote viewing?
oh, that's a tough one.
We're almost done.
Prophecy.
Prophecy. The psychological model of magic or theosophy?
Psychological model of magic.
I like that one too. Reiki or transurfing?
Reiki.
The spirit intelligence model of magic or witchcraft?
Spirit intelligence model of magic.
All right. Star seeds or only ones?
Star seeds.
You need to change it to OnlyFans. I think that would really reveal a lot about your guests.
Or me.
Yeah.
Hello.
Stop.
You still, no one's found my OnlyFans so far. It's great.
Oh.
Or you're gonna have to look for it now.
Tantra? Tantra or the Fae?
Tantra.
All right. Taoism or Sanatan Dharma?
Taoism.
Tartaria or Voynich manuscript?
Tartaria.
Sadhguru or Santos Bonacci?
Sadhguru.
Ooh, the Big Bang or black holes?
The Big Bang.
The Flying Bell Wunderwaffe or the Flying Spaghetti Monster?
Oh, the Spaghetti Monster.
All right, you have been touched by his newly appendage.
Yeah, you're the first one I think that's picked that. That's brave. Bold move.
UFOs or xenobiology?
UFOs.
Okay, subtle difference. All right. How'd you do? Well, we don't keep score, so
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah,
You won
yeah.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I
All
really
right.
don't know most of anything that I said. Yeah, a couple of things sounded familiar, but
You're
Good
not
enough.
alone.
okay.
It's okay. I made a couple choices for you, and I'm
That's
already
right.
Already regretting it.
So.
A little
It's
nauseous.
okay though. It's okay. I just teaching me to do my research. I should know these things before.
But I kept human design and prayer. We're good. The
Yeah.
rest, like,
Okay, now I'm going to roll us straight into this segment.
Okay, let's do it.
All
What do we got
right.
going on this week?
Well, astrocartography with Helena. She's talking about some Trumpy stuff here.
She's reflecting back. Did she like blow it and that's why she's got to reflect?
Okay, yeah, a lot of
probably.
astrologers were very much on the other side of the election. So a lot of them I'm seeing are coming back and saying because of this, because of that. And it happens. That's why we don't do a lot of predictive work. If you do, you kind of keep it to
astrologer
yourself.
right here. This one nailed it.
Yeah. Let's give props. Let's give props because someone here nailed it.
It was the Saturn Jupiter square retrograde that like hit the nail on the head for me. I was like, oh, okay. I just had to go back and look at what they were doing.
So this
I was like, okay.
This might be the chick who claims astrocartography for her own, like she invented it. I'm not sure that's the case.
Oh, is that her? Oh,
there is a person out there who like gets real shitty if anyone uses it. They're like,
really?
Yeah.
I had never heard of such a thing.
Oh my God, for real? I want to kind of know who they are. Ooh, well, when you find out, you just tell.
Yeah, if anybody out there knows, let us know. I want to know who.
Oh my God, what a gatekeeper! That's so high school. Like I invented astrocartography, and all of these bitches out here using it or copying me. Like
I will.
Wow.
I'll send her some kicks of light. It'll be great.
Yeah.
All right, radical
you
renewal.
Know what? I should have really known better, but whatever. It's okay.
It's okay. Post-election astrology. You don't think this is over, do you?
Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, it is. It's actually over. It really is. Wow, a lot about the election. Okay.
This story is not
finished. It's not finished.
Okay. Well, this guy.
Well, I mean, it's 4 more years, so sure, it's probably not finished. I think that's a safe bet. I'd say that.
Yeah.
Yep, Molly McButter here is not doing too inflammatory stuff today.
What
did Joni say? Did she call it? Do we know?
I don't know what her teeth said this time.
Joni.
Let's see. The notes. She did say something about the moon, like I think the full moon, like was the beginning of the end or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the beginning of the end.
Shocking. Hogarth is letting for entertainment purposes only. He just can't commit.
I don't know. You know what? I didn't even look at the charts when I don't know. I didn't really feel like you had to. I don't know.
No, you don't. necessarily have
You
to.
don't look at, you didn't have to look at their birth charts to be like, okay, this is going to happen. I kind of knew it was going to happen after the whole picture.
Analena, I have a question for you. Do you look at like do you put in celebrities' birthdays or like politicians and to like the system to see if you can pull up their human design and like get insight about them? Like, do you ever do that?
Yeah, I have done it for some celebrities. It's kind of fascinating. I have to say, I haven't done it with a true sidereal. I used to do it with a tropical, and even that was pretty cool. So yeah, but you know, more to understand a person, not to make predictions. I'm not a big fan of that.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Oh my God, when I was younger, I used to do that, like put my information in the compatibility calculator. Like,
Yeah.
am I compatible with Johnny Depp? Am I compatible with Brad Pitt? And I
He's so
was
dreamy.
actually compatible with Johnny
Yeah,
Depp.
of
But I had a
course you
dream
are.
about him, and I had short hair at the time. We were making out heavy, and I was like, yes, I finally get one of these dreams. And he stops, and he's like, sorry, but I don't like girls with short hair. And I was like, what the fuck?
No.
Bummer.
Sorry. I know.
Bummer.
I can never get my celebrity dream crush ever. I don't have one. Now I'm just like old and bitter now. So
Has anyone
it
checked
used
on
to be fun.
proactive astrology? He's looking kind of distraught.
That guy, that pasty guy right there, is he
Yeah.
okay?
I don't know. We
He's
should
all
do a
right.
wellness
He
check.
got like 50,000 views. He's doing all right.
All right.
Yeah, he looks like
you're not
he's.
wrong.
I
So
assume.
this is all right. I'm gonna switch this up to just all because recently uploaded goes straight into Jyotish really quick.
Analena,
Yeah.
do other human design people, do they put like crazy video thumbnails up? Do they do that too? Or is it just astrologers and like, you know, psychics and stuff?
You see it a little bit too. I think astrology is a little bit more on the bold side.
Yeah, okay. I just wondered.
So, yeah.
Mr. Uranus. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Uranus.
The
Is that
beginning
some
of
kind
the
of
end.
Oh
some kind of
man.
joke?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, Joni's teeth.
You
Here
know,
we go.
I'm not seeing that with this full moon, and you would think you would see more videos of people saying it's the beginning of the end. I don't know. There's just this. This attachment to Uranus being like this stranglehold shaker upper, like he's just gonna make you shaky and crazy. And I don't know. I'm just not seeing that this full moon. I think it's just more like personal introspective. It could bubble over. I mean, we got some quintile like aspects from like Mars and Saturn. You know, your imagination could run wild, but I doubt it. Like, I just think it's going to be more introspective. Yeah.
Where is it at? Where is it at that you guys already forgot? Where's the full moon this month? It's only a couple days from now.
Conjunct Uranus in the beginning of of Taurus, very beginning. I think so. It's like right in the first degrees of Taurus, isn't it?
Like right by the Pleiades?
Yeah.
That could be tricky, Nikki, but
I know.
Listen.
I'm an optimistic person, and my Venus is right there. Let me be optimistic today.
Look, it's not the Pleiades, okay?
That'd be good for you.
It's V'ger. That's V'ger.
I hope so. I could use some good stuff. I could use some good news for once.
Hey, I think the moon touching anything is a plus, okay? So I don't have any issues with that. But you know, like Pleiades sometimes can be a little, you know, shake things up a little bit. So I don't get that with Uranus, but you know, like I said, we all see things a little bit differently. So it'll be interesting. We'll see how it plays out. I'm not worried about anything. So, you know.
Oh, no.
It is the most important time in human history.
What, right now? Oh, this week?
See?
This is it.
They said so.
Oh, it's a prep series for 2025. I was actually prepping some of my 2025 charts, and it's gonna be a little different, but I actually have a different opinion about it now. I was going into 2025 like, oh my god. And now it's not so much, oh my god.
Did we lose Analena again?
Probably. Yes.
No. Oh, there you're there. I see you now. I couldn't find you. That was me. That was on me.
All right.
Oh, what did Joni have to say? I got to see what her thumbnails look like now.
Joni's teeth. It's the beginning of the end. First of all.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, hello. What else? What else we got?
Okay, intuitive. I like that. I like intuitive everything.
Why does it feel so
Why does it feel so
apocalyptic?
apocalyptic?
It does it?
OMG.
Because I guess your
No.
person lost and you're taking it hard. That's the only reason I can think.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
other dudes
Well,
seem pretty
yeah.
stoked.
What else is going on in your life? Why does it
Yeah.
feel so apocalyptic?
Yeah,
It's
right.
not. It's not. I keep running into people that want to like talk about the end of the world and how it's coming, and I'm like, oh, you wish. You wish.
We had
There is
this.
no end of the world coming, okay? We're all going to keep going on. We have to go to work tomorrow. 10 years from now, I'm still going to be getting up and doing stuff. Like, it's just a ridiculous thought, in my opinion.
We had that conversation. I don't know if you were on that call, Nikki, on the meditation call, but we were talking about, because my mom does that. She's like, I feel something's coming. And like the people I talk to, they're the same. I feel something, it's coming. But I'm like, I wonder if you would feel that if you never watched TV, if you just were like outside and like in nature all the time and checked out, like yours truly, like totally oblivious to what's going on in the world. I just don't know that you would feel that stuff. So I don't know how much of it's real.
Here's the thing: how much of it is personal, and how much is it collective too? Because I know I've had a hard time telling the difference. So I knew things were happening, but I couldn't tell if it was going to be personal or if it was going to be collective. So obviously, it's a little bit of both. But what's this one thing that could happen? Like,
it's probably not good to focus on the doom and gloom anyways. It's not getting you anywhere,
No.
Yeah, but Joni gets the clicks.
Yeah, she sure does.
Which president could die soon? Oh my God. So
Future Wars.
Friar, do me a favor. Pull up some human design and see what's going for that. See if Analena can give us any feedback on, on that community. Because like I said, you guys, I didn't even know what that was until a couple days ago. So I'm learning things, okay? Learning, getting out of my bubble.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I think it's really cool you like clicked with it right away and knew it was your system like right away. All of us kind of have that same story with astrology and tropical, and we're like, oh, we finally found it, and then it just you test it until you refine that craft. So it's I think that's pretty cool.
No spooky stuff. No, now's your chance to figure out your survival guide.
Survival guide. You might not make it.
Ooh, there's a wild story of human design in the prophecy of 2027.
Analena, did you know about that? Are you in on the prophecy of 2027?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Was it really? What is it?
Oh,
tell us. Yes.
Yeah, do tell, please.
She's like,
the carriers, was all based on tropical astrology.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, it's just things are shifting. I see it in a positive way, but yeah, there's some also gloomy doomy from Ra about 2027. There are books about it.
Oh yeah. Well, that's when the Uranus return happens for the United States, I think, is 2027. So everyone looks at like where it was the last time, and that's the energy surrounding it. And so I think that's where that's coming from. Everyone's like, oh, 2027 is the magic year.
There's always you got to be
always a magic year. There's always a prophecy. There's always I remember, you guys remember Y2K? You guys remember that?
Heck yeah.
Everyone was so prepared and ready for that. I was not. I sat, I was partying and I waited for the clock and nothing happened. And guess what? The world went on.
It sure did. We all waited for all the lights to go off and everything just kept. I got to look up this.
I just think about all the duct tape and plastic they sold. I mean, my God.
Yeah. Look at this. There's controversy. Human design exposed. My experience, part 2 of everything that went wrong with New Age spirituality.
Yeah.
Oh no. He's got the space bomb.
Hold on, you guys. I'm looking at. It's unavailable. The page is down. Okay, hold on. If you're into human design, what are your thoughts on the blah blah blah? I don't know if I'll be able to read that. No, I can't get on that. Very interested into what like calamity they have coming in. Okay, Analena, I got a question for you. So this past weekend, out of curiosity, I went on 2 different websites to do like the free human design chart thing. One was they were people who do sidereal, one was tropical. They both said I was some sort of projector. What does that mean?
Okay. Yeah, so the projector is, like I said, I call it an archetype. We call it the guides of the future, but again, other people can be guides too. And that to make big decisions in life, you definitely don't want to push things and force things, right? You want to, it's about recognition and invitation. And the way that I like to explain it, it's more about, well, you have to recognize yourself first. Like you recognize yourself for being a badass astrologer, right? That's your jam. That's how you know
Thanks.
what you do. And once you recognize yourself, other people recognize you, right? It's not something we have to chase outside of ourselves. And
Oh,
then,
okay.
the right things that come to you, let life invite you into the things, and then you will feel in your body what are the right invitations for you. You have to be very discerning, because the more you're in your power, more and more people recognize you. And it's more about only saying yes to the things that really feel energetically aligned, because if you say yes to too many things, you're going to burn out quickly, right? So you have to be very careful with your energy, particularly, right? Because your energy at times may be really high and really on it, but then you need longer times of rest to really your own energy cycles. So that's just a little bit about the projector.
Yeah, that was much more helpful than the descriptions that I read. Because they didn't make any sense, the ones I read. I realize it's different to talk to a real person than it is to just look at a, yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same with astrology. You get like a printout, like it's not helpful, right? Like you got to have somebody to sit with you and go through and
No,
interpret
that's
it.
why even I mean, you guys are going through the whole thing on YouTube, but yeah, there's just so much information, and actually it makes you more disconnected from yourself because you're trying to find the answers outside of yourself, right? Um, that's why I find it very magical when you sit down with a person and
For
yeah,
sure.
really have a
Yeah,
conversation
I agree.
and not just throw all this information at them.
Yeah, I used to do recorded readings for a while, for my Etsy store because I just needed reviews just to get the store going.
Mm,
Oh, it sucked so bad. I mean, they all liked him and stuff, but it's like it's different to be on a call with a real person because then you can also like get details that you wouldn't normally. So I don't know what it's like for again the human design chart. Oh my brain was like, no, I don't have any clue what I'm looking at right now. I mean, obviously, it's like looking at probably Sumerian if you don't read Sumerian, right? It's hard. Um, but when you if you don't have somebody in front of you and you have to like just give all the information, you have to like there's things you just don't look for, okay? Like there's questions that real human beings have about their life that you can go into that you might just otherwise not be paying attention. I don't know, maybe I'm rambling, I'm not sure.
yeah. No, it's true. Like you cannot describe all humans in just one book, which is about the types and certain energies in the chart. It's just here to guide. And I think that's what we have to be careful with all of this stuff, you know, because if we use any system to define us and to box us in, and it's this like we're trying to find something outside of ourselves, that's actually disconnecting us further from us, right? So it's more like an approach to activate something within you. And then at some point, I actually believe like you don't need any astrology, human design, gene keys. Once you trust yourself, you're good.
Yeah, I
But
tell people that all the time.
we
Once
need
you
like the, when you ride a bicycle in the beginning, we kind of need the training wheels. That's kind of how I see it. So we can use anything in a really bad way, wrong way, and disconnect further and almost like put it on a plateau. Like, oh, but the astrology is saying, or my human design chart is saying, and we are totally submissive. That's not the way that I like to use any of that.
Yes, I tell people like astrology is a tool to help you tune into your intuition, to the source, to the cosmos. But once you're in that zone,
Yeah,
you don't really need it, you
exactly.
know?
Yeah.
You don't need
So
anything. Like you just
because
don't.
I think what we see a lot is like a codependency with all these systems, right?
Yeah.
Where like I need it and I need to check my human design if I can do this. I mean, then I'm not trusting myself, obviously, right? So yeah.
Final question, Analena. And it's a very serious question. Are you familiar with the YouTube channel ABBEY'S?
Which one?
Okay, that was great answer. That was the correct answer. ABBEY'S.
No.
Okay, good. I just wondered. The human design dudes that we talked to over the weekend were for sure into that, and I didn't know if that was like tied in somehow to human design. I didn't necessarily think it was, but like I said, I don't know anything about outside of like my realm of expertise, and which is limited. So I just don't know. I just wondered.
I mean, look, I think with anything, you can use it in a way that is not helpful, and you can use it in a way that's very helpful, right? It's really where we're at consciousness wise, and it's also not to judge. We live in a world of polarity, right? We only have day because we have night. We only have hot because we have cold. So in a way, that has to coexist, these polarities. And I was also for a while in a little bit like this, like, oh, we shouldn't use it this way. I was trying to fight it. But anything that I resist and I'm trying to fight, I give it more energy, right? So I'm really in this phase of, I just need to focus on the way that I want to teach and put human design out into the world. And I love it. I'm so passionate about it. And I think it's absolutely amazing. But there may be many ways of how human design is being used that is totally against my values, right? It's really like, it's not the system, it's how are we using it, which is, again, very individual. And we have to be very careful not to put any system on a pedestal and make it like,
a chosen system.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah.
All right. Friar, Nick, you guys got any final thoughts or questions for Analena before we set her free?
No, I can't think of anything. I guess why not astrology? I guess I could like to ask everybody who gets into human design, like, why not just astrology? Why not just look at that nice round like chart and see where everything is and just grab it from there? And I look at the human design chart and it does look like a big space bong. I'm like, oh my God, how do I read this? I'm just curious.
Yeah, for me, it's the other way around. When I look at an astrology chart, and I have even studied astrology, like, it doesn't come that easy to me. I look at a human design chart, it's easy, it makes sense. I think we're just not all meant to be using the same. We need a variety in life, and there's a reason why some things come easy to some people and not to others, because life obviously wants me to focus on human design and gene keys, because that's really where, like you, Abby, like you feel like you're in your zone and you don't know what else is going on, right? But for you, it's astrology. And some of the things you are talking about, I'm like, well, I'm not following. Like, it's like,
Right.
So it's really like, we just have to be accepting, and it's beautiful. We need variety in life. I mean, it wouldn't be boring if everybody just like, plus, I mean, what's cool with human design? So in astrology, you only have the conscious, which is based on the time you're born. In human design, we also have an unconscious part, which we learn, right? It's kind of like 95% with the subconscious. So we combine the conscious and the unconscious in there. And I find that very powerful.
We do that too in astrology. It's not just the
I mean, you can.
But it's different. Yeah, it's I guess it's how you practice, though.
Yeah, it's in one chart there. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much for explaining everything. And definitely, so again, you guys are out there watching this, we will explain my confusion in a later video. So far, I think we're going to do December 18th is that day that we're going to do that. I know that's like a month out from now. It's my birthday, so I will be the special guest.
Yes.
And I'm choosing to review this video because it was cracking me up. I rewatched this 2-hour call that we had with these dudes for like, I watched it like 7 times or something, just laughing. So we'll tell you all about that. But Analena came in here and saved the whole concept of human design because
you are the redeemer.
Yes, they destroyed it, and I was like, "What is going on right now?" But everything you said made sense, and it was great. It was awesome to have you, and I'm so grateful.
I want to watch it too. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a disaster. So it'll be fun though.
Okay.
It's a very special episode.
It will be a very special episode.
Okay, I'll check it out. Let me know when it comes.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks again, everybody. Check out Analena's information. It's in the video description. Same with Friars, Nikki's, my stuff. It's all there.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to reach out to us. We're human beings, and like it's good to talk to people and make connections. I'm not just saying like buy something from us. I'm saying like get in touch with other human beings that are on a similar page or on a good frequency, because that stuff does translate over. And we all need more positive connections life. So with that, I'll let you guys go. Selima, thanks again. And